Okay, so we're learning, or I'm teaching Darren Miller's Jam from the CKY documentary from like 2001 or something. So there's a point where they're if you're looking for it in the documentary, where they're talking about how they used to practice in Bam's old basement at their old house, and how it's so musty and it was gross down there. And it goes from Jess to Darren talking about it in between, or yeah, and in between that it plays this audio of this song, and it shows Darren playing it. So it sounds like this. So it sounds like that, but when he's playing it, when it shows him playing it, it's like completely different. It's like it's some like weird thing, and he's doing like these other chord shapes. I'm like, and I've tried mimicking it and seeing what he's doing, and it doesn't work. It doesn't, like, I can't figure it out. I don't know if it's in a different tuning, because the way I'm playing it most of the time, Darren is tuned to D standard. There's a couple times where it's like standard tuning, like Lost in a Contraption, or where it's half step down, like 96 Quite Bitter Beings, at least the album version. But most of the time it's, and for this, to get that low D, you have to do the, when he does the, like, you need to have it tuned down to D standard, which is D, G, C, F, and then A, D. I just have the 4 strings too, so it's D, G, C, F. And I have a 7 string, so this is the low B string, or if you tune it down, it'd be an A string, but this doesn't, you don't use that here. So anyways, this is there's one other person that covered this years ago. I forgot his name. It's like, I forgot his name, but he did it, Adam like McNally or something, like maybe that was his name or something, but he did it, and I kind of his version, but also like just by listening to it. So I'm going to teach you how to play it. So it starts off, also I don't know if this is right and how Darren's playing it, but this is the closest. So it starts off D standard. You can also figure out what fingers you want to use, because sometimes it changes. I used to play it differently, but now this is my comfortable way of playing it. Anyways, it starts off on the 5th fret of the E string. I'm going to refer to these as their normal names. So this would be D, but I'm going to say the E string. So the 5th fret of the E string, you hammer on to the 7th. So you hammer on to the 7th, then slide up to the 9th and put your first finger on the 7th of the A string, and then pluck both of them. So now we're going to do that. So after you do you hit the E string again, and then slide up. I use my pinky here. So you can either do like that, so either hammer on or slide up. I kind of interchange it, both sound good. So after you do that, so you do the 5th fret on the E string, and then you put your first finger on the 4th fret of the A string and hit them both. And then you go down to this power chord shape, or just your open E and 2nd fret of the A string. So all together, do it slow. So that's the first part. Now the second part is, so after it goes, I hit the D string or the E string again, So I use my first finger and go from the 7th to the 9th, back down to the 7th in one moment. You pluck it once on the A string. Then 9th fret D, E string. I keep on saying D, but 9th fret E string. And then you bar both with your finger like this on the E and A on the 7th fret. So then you pluck both, and then put your pinky, for me at least, I put my pinky on the 9th fret of the E string after you do the, and then you pluck it, and then you make this shape. So this shape is 9th fret, my pinky on the 9th fret of the E string, middle finger on the 7th fret of the A string, and the first finger on the 6th fret of the D string. So that's E, you pluck it, E, A, E, D, and then you pluck the E again, and then you pluck the D again, and then slide down to the 4th, and make this shape where you put your middle finger on the 5th fret of the, or your middle finger on the, your ring finger on the 6th fret of the A string, and your pinky on the 5th or the 7th fret of the E string. This is hard to say. So, and you do the same thing, like the E, A, E, D, E, D, E. You slide down to the 2nd fret, and then you hit the 5th fret with your pinky, the 5th fret. And this is the hardest part of it for me. Your 5th fret of that, of the E string. And then you go down and do a 2nd fret of the A string, hit it and hammer on to the 4th fret with your ring finger, and then go put your first finger back down to the D string on the 2nd fret. And that's it. So altogether we have since it's after. Or I messed up there. Sorry, I went dark there for a bit. My TV is what's giving me light and it went off, but it's back on. So after that, so you can also do it, add this to it, which I add to it. I don't know if he actually does this. I can't really remember. It's kind of hard to hear. The audio is super low quality, but is after you do the, you can play this. So that's when you go down to this one. You, instead of just putting your first finger on here, on the D string on the 4th fret, you also bar it and do it on the 4th fret of the G string too. So it's, and then instead of doing the, hitting the D string there, hit the G string there, and then still slide down the D string to this. So the chords are pretty much all together. I'll play it slow. And you do that as much as you want, 4 times, 5 times, whatever. And that's how you do that. I'm not good at these tutorials, but I thought I would at least document it because it's one of my favorite pieces that he does. I'm playing this clean through just an amp with basic settings on my, I guess, middle and neck pickup. I don't know, or this just like the top humbucker. I don't know how these work actually, but because it's not a humbucker, but it's both pickups there. But anyways, so it's just a clean sound, pretty much just. So it's just a clean sound, and you can kind of take it from there, because you can maybe add a little reverb or a bit of distortion, but I think that does it. So that about covers it. Thought I'd document it. I kind of want to do tutorials for more obscure stuff I had to learn by ear that was kind of tricky to make it easy for anybody else. So I hope this helps anybody out there looking for this tutorial, if anyone even remembers this other than me. There's probably a couple people out there, but